level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. Level up. Level up. Go. Everything, that means everything. Eyes connected to everything. And that's why. I'm in everything. All eyes on me. All eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
And I know I was about to say it too. And that's why. What's going on, wonderful people in the place to be? It's been a second. I missed you guys. What's going on? Yeah, I feel like it's been like too far of a break. What's up?
Ooh.
I was just saying, just for myself, because I haven't been available. So yeah, that's just myself. So. Well, I'm just going to say hi. Hey, welcome everybody to things that people don't want to talk about. Brought to you by God Level. Welcome to our discussion, to our podcast today. I'm your girl, Inattentive Ivy, coming to you straight from the PNW. It's been a couple of weeks, yeah, and I've missed you guys since I haven't been here. And we're about to get right back into it. So yeah, I just wanted, right. I'm telling you that part. We're about to start talking about the things that affect us as a community, giving back to that which has been lost. Wow. And once again, I'm Inattentive Ivy. You can find me on TikTok, where I talk about Black girl, Black man, mental health, ADHD. That's the reason why I call myself Inattentive Ivy. I'm a mom, sister, friend, former broadcast journalist in the military, and advocating for healing, for mental healing in communities of color, because I had to go through my own BS, and I'm keeping myself accountable. And as always, and y'all know I like to say, we're about to keep it a buck in here. So go ahead, Mr. John Skywalker, please introduce yourself. Hi, Cece. Introduce yourself.
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here. I'm a lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I'm a father. And I want to emphasize that I am a personal trainer. I am taking clients. I am currently taking clients, but I'm not just taking any old client. You have to be committed to yourself, because the thing about a trainer or coach is they evaluate your fitness in terms of belief. So if you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect someone like me to work miracles. I just believe in you. But if you don't believe in yourself more than me, we're not going to be a good fit. I'm just going to be dragging you along. Why wait until the new year to want to get, in shape, to lose some of that gut, to even just start a regime of some sort, right? Why wait? And you don't have to do it alone. I've done all the hard work just to put together, a concept, a mind frame in which you can train yourself and achieve your goals. So if you are looking for a reliable coach to help you get back into shape, or at least reintroduce you to fitness, I'm your guy. Even if you have a mental illness, and we're going to talk about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a mental illness, or if you're going through something like SAD, you need some fitness in your life. You need some activity, some physical activity. You can hire me, master.johnskywalker, master.johnskywalker on Instagram. Salute.
There we go. That is what I'm talking about. We're going to start talking about like somatic healing for a seasonal affective disorder or depression. Yeah, that's something. And so you're advocating for that. But before we get into any of that, King Newborn, come on through, introduce yourself, rip yourself. Thank you very much, sir.
Peace. This King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. As always, I am that I am of service and to the community, fans, family, friends, best friends, loved ones, unknown people, new acquaintances. Yeah, pretty much to the world, to the community. Yeah, to the culture.
He said, I am a friend to the culture, y'all. To the family. It's the friends and the family. To the friends.
There you go. You got to mix them together.
That's it. You mash them. You mash them together like a good old bologna sandwich. Anyway, we're about to get started, right? Talking about our topic today. And, God level, she's coming in. She'll be coming in soon. But she wanted to talk about sad and what exactly is sad. Go ahead, John. Kick us off, man. You're the man with the facts,
Yeah.
bro.
So before we get into this, I just want to tell the audience to please take into consideration that the information that we're providing on tonight's podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. This is not to be intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. This is a very complex condition, and it varies from person to person. And it's important to consult with a qualified healthcare professional or mental health expert for an accurate diagnosis and a personalized treatment plan. So we're going to strive to ensure the accuracy and the reliability of the information that we're presenting tonight. We cannot guarantee that it's comprehensive, up to date, or suitable for everyone. Okay, so we encourage you to use your discretion and seek further guidance, right, as needed. So let's hop into it. What is seasonal affective disorder? Right now, here is the challenge. Right, here's the challenge. Like I said before, it is challenging to get people interested in seasonal affective disorder, really just in any disorder, really. Just, you think about it, we're not really a mentally health focused nation, and something like this affects about 5% of the population. All right, so I want you guys to imagine something. This is going to be my response to what is seasonal affective disorder. I was thinking about it today, talking to the wife about it. I want you to imagine your mood as a garden. Let's put it up there. Mood, there it is, garden, right? Your garden has a lot of different flowers, plants, trees, fruits. They're vibrant, they're vivid. Your garden is teeming with growth and color, right? When the sun is out, that's how it looks. When the sun is out, your garden is vibrant, it's blossoming, it's alive, it's really alive, right? And it's warm, like intimacy, emotional closeness, right? This is your mood, okay? This is your mood. But when it's cold, your garden tends to hibernate in a sense. It withdraws, right? It reserves itself. It goes into this conservation mode. It goes into the inner, right? And this is because the conditions are too harsh for your growth. This is your mood, okay? Mood changes with the environment. So, harsh environment, you're less likely to be warm. You're less likely, right? Because it's cold, right? So, in order to survive, it's got to conserve its energy. This is your mood. The leaves and the fruit get much of its substance from the branches by the way of the trunk. And so with less sunlight comes shorter days. With less daylight, it also means less warmth. And then if you're in the north, you add on cloudy days to that.
Man.
So not only does the garden have a shorter span of sunlight, but there's large sheets of clouds blocking the sunlight. Do you think the flowers, the plants, the fruit in your garden is going to survive being buried under the snow? Right? So this is the harsh environment that we're thinking of. So there's no warmth, there's no light, or there's not much light. And so you begin to withdraw. Your mood begins to withdraw. The blossom is less, the leaves fall off. Because it's like, well, hey, I can get more leaves, I can bear more fruit, but I need to conserve this water here. There's less activity in the winter. There's less activity when it's cold, right? So the color in your mood becomes dull, just like the environment. And this is how I arrive at seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah. That's
So
a really good analogy.
I want to apologize about that, but it's like, dang, it's a double entendre too, because that's what happens, right? That's what happens in nature. And so the only way for me to really understand that is, let me look at nature. Like, this is our nature. We're not going to act like the environment, the weather does not influence our behavior. How likely are you to go see your friends when you know that it's snowing outside? What? Now, if I'm getting some, I mean, maybe, you know, that necessity, right? Necessity.
Oh, goodness.
But if I'm going to the store, okay, how many trips am I willing to make? And then jobs, you know, so our behavior changes in the seasons. And so it should go without saying that because of the change in environment, the change in the season, we move differently. But sometimes it's not healthy the way that we're moving. It's an adaptation. It's an adaptation, right? We're just responding. But are we moving and thinking healthily the same way that we did before? Right? So what's your take?
I was just gonna say, man, like I live in a PNW. I live in a PNW, and shouts out to Mel because Mel is out here in the PNW with me, so she definitely understands. Man, it gets dark around this joint at like 4:30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It gets dark, and then it's normally mild. It's really, really mild out this way, but we get bursts of sunlight during the summer. But during the winter, the fall, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes even going into the spring, it's cloudy, bro. Like if it's not raining, it's cloudy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard so many melanated people say that that's the reason why they can't live in Washington State, because the lack of vitamin D. It's like they get seasonal affective depression, or they get seasonal affective disorder. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like you have to have strategies for that. But yeah, it's like I hear about that a lot out here. Yeah, because I mean it's going to be cloudy. It's Seattle going to be Seattling. So yeah, just saying. Yeah, that's my take.
All right. King, you got anything?
Not at this time.
Okay.
He's like, I'm just listening. I'm just chilling.
All right, so let's get a little bit more descriptive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are the signs and symptoms of SAD? How do we know we even got this thing, right? So it is a disorder that's listed in the DSM, right?
Mm-hmm.
The diagnostical, what is it? Diagnostic and Statistical Manual. Yeah. Man, I should know that. I know better than that.
It's all good.
But it's not really considered a separate disorder from major depressive, right? Because it shares the same symptoms. It's just that, you know, it's a recurrent seasonal pattern. It's a habit, you know. The symptoms last about 4 to 5 months per year. So we're talking about someone who's feeling depressed most days. And of course, what comes with that is losing interest in the activities you once enjoyed. Like, all right, all of a sudden you don't like rapping. All of a sudden you don't like playing the game. You know, oh man, I love going to the gym, but just lately I don't feel like, you know, I don't love going to the gym. I love spending time with my kids, but lately I don't, you know, having problems with sleep. Because again, it does disturb your sleep cycles. You know, there is a potential chemical, neurochemical imbalance in the brain. Melatonin, serotonin, those two are, you know, really key here. You're feeling very fatigued, sluggish, agitated as a result of being sluggish and sleepy, low energy. And with that, it's hard to concentrate, hard to focus. With depression, feeling worthless, right? Frequent thoughts of death and suicide. It's unbearable. It's just I feel numb. Yeah. What else you got?
I mean, there's weight gain. There is, there's weight gain because you're like, what I want to do is I'm going to try to do something to numb out. You know, there is
comfort foods. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You just want to feel comfortable.
Sympathy sex.
Only King Newport. There's, you know, there's
These are facts.
That is very true. There's sleep disturbances, like you'll find yourself sleeping more, you know? Yeah, you can find yourself sleeping more. You can find yourself only wanting to do things during the daylight hours, and then sometimes not even really wanting to do anything during the daylight hours either. Yeah, Jai, that is a really really sophisticated look to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that with heat, you have higher activity, and anything that cools down, that means that you're trying to preserve energy. So maybe that's your body telling you, hey, it's time for me to preserve some energy, you know?
Cuddle.
Yeah, you hear, what do they call this? They normally call this time of year,
it's cuddle
cuffing.
Season.
It's
yeah,
cuffing
we be cuffing.
season,
Yeah, cuddle,
right?
cuffing, baby
Cuddling.
making, sympathy sex. I don't like you, but I need your energy in the house.
Yeah,
You get on my nerves. I'm fat because of you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly going to look at it like if you are in that cuddle or that cuffing, that seasonal thing, maybe you're just trying to find a warm body to give you back some, you know what I'm saying, to give you back some of your warmth. Y'all, come on, man. Jai is on it. He excites us at a molecular level.
It does.
Preach that, man.
It has more. It has more energy to move.
Yeah,
it has more energy to move.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that those are some of the signs and symptoms, and probably just, if you really think about it, just like the general symptoms of depression. You know what I'm saying? Just being lethargic, just not really wanting to move, not really interested in anything, just literally just functioning at like a basis survival level. You know, like, what am I going to do in order to survive to get to the next day? I got to go to work,
cuddle.
eat.
Cuddle. I'm sad right now. Yeah. I'm not in the mood. You don't like me. You don't love me no more. You never hold me anymore. You never ask me how am I feeling. You never ask me what's on my mind.
We're doing all of that with seasonal affective disorder.
Hell yeah, all that happens. A lot of suicide is during this time, and that be the reason why. True. Feeling alone, you're in a house, you don't want to. First of all, you don't even want to do anything. Don't want to do anything, and then you living with somebody that you feel like is not paying attention to you. Yeah.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
Shots fired.
Oh my goodness. Happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. That is.
And then that's.
But it makes sense though, right? It makes sense because again, there is this drive towards pleasure. There's a drive towards warmth, and so when you want what you want, it's kind, and this is the era we're in, where it's like gotta have it instantly, needs to be like this, like fast, and yeah, you mix in a little bit of entitlement with that. I could see why those thoughts would be produced because the mood is going to produce the conversation. You're in a bad mood, and so naturally, when you're talking to yourself, you're having these thoughts feed into the mood. The mood is what's coloring your language right now. So all I know is that I need warmth and you haven't given it to me. And I know I didn't ask for it, but you should have recognized. You should have noticed the change. I noticed it.
Acknowledge. Yeah.
You didn't pay attention to me. It's just, it's not about it being rational. You're just in your feelings. But you have to recognize you feel this way. And there's a truth about it, but you have to be mindful of why you're feeling that way. Neurochemical imbalance. Go ahead.
No, I'm just curious. I wonder if seasonal affective disorder also affects you physiologically. Like, does it affect your body? Almost like depression and other things do. Like, you get body aches. Like you get
like you said, your serotonin levels one. You're not getting any dopamine. And you tend to pick on habits that you don't normally do when it's hot, which is eating a lot. You know what I'm saying? Then you even start body shaming yourself. And you really don't want to do nothing. You don't want to move, don't want to go to work. Everybody get on your nerves. What is that noise? It's you breathing. Well, you can't stop breathing. You know what I'm saying? So you just get real irritable.
He said it's you breathing. You just have breaths.
Yeah, and you got to also think about it, this is still about survival, right? So what would you normally do in a situation where it's really cold outside and there's food scarcity? What does the body do? What does the body do? It conserves. It conserves what it eats, especially if it's like those carbs and those fatty foods. Oh, it's holding on
Agree?
because on a psychological level, on a very physiological level, like those instincts are kicking in. Hey, hold on to this. It's the winter months. You know, there's less light outside.
Yep.
And so triggering, all of that is being triggered, and you have to be aware of that. But what happens is you've been doing it for so long, you never question it, you never evaluated it. You know? Yeah. Now, like I said in the beginning, only 5% of Americans, the prevalence is 5% of Americans, essentially, right? So, I mean, that's still in the millions. You know, we're still in the millions, right? But there is a question as to why other people are more affected than others. Go ahead, God level. Go ahead and check in. Check in with the group.
I just got in literally about an hour ago. I am so sorry. I am late. I'm tardy. This is not, I'm not acting like a diva. This is things people don't want to talk about. I'm God level, originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a mother, I'm a nurse, I'm an aunt, I'm a GG, I'm a cousin, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. I am everything good.
Let's go.
Well, yeah, let's go.
Step on in the wrong.
We talking about SAD. How is SAD diagnosed?
Definitely. Ooh.
I just know I have it. I just know that when I'm serious. I just know that when winter time comes, my energy level goes down. I really don't want to get out. The cold weather hits. I know the holidays is slowly approaching. I get really emotional during that time. Because I miss my family, my mother and my grandmother. So yeah, it's I don't like the snow. I don't like the cold. It's too much. And it's dark. It just seemed like, where's the sun?
Yeah.
Where's the sun? I don't like that. So
yeah.
I knew it. Yeah. Living in Cincinnati, like I picked up on it. Like, okay, you know, it's getting close to that time of the year. Yeah.
I did not know that. I didn't know that. I was looking at the topic and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, we're going to talk about SAD, but I didn't know that you experience, you know, like seasonal affective. Yeah, that's interesting. Wow.
I need fun.
Let's say this: there is no censorship for SAD. So you may have people that are tuned in or even listen to this be like, maybe that was last winter. I'm just saying it's possible. You know, we on this podcast we do bring up things that people don't normally talk about.
Yeah.
Or regularly talk about or talk about at all.
Right.
You know, so this could be an introduction to someone that'd be like, wait a minute. Tuesday, let me see. The moon was right, cycle was right. But I didn't want to go outside. I wanted to cook, but didn't feel like cooking. I know I need to help my kids with homework, but I didn't. I isolated myself. I went in my room, closed the door. You know, it's a lot of things that's going on. And it could be lack of, like you say, the sun isn't out. You're not receiving vitamin D. Now, we do know this. In our culture, we lack vitamin D heavily.
Facts.
Heavily.
Facts.
You know, a lot of us, even though during the summer times, we're still inside working 8, 10, 12 hours, sometimes even 16, depends on where you're at. So you're not even getting sun during the summertime. You know, so I mean, like I say, I'm just saying, just putting something out there.
No, you know, it's funny that you just, I'm just saying it's funny that you just said that because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know, in fact, me and God Level, we've had lots of talks about how like awareness, just about awareness, just like having the awareness of stuff is like a lot of times in our communities, in communities of melanation. I just made up a new word. In communities, in melanated communities, it's like sometimes we just don't necessarily have that awareness because let's go ahead and keep this a buck. It's like we don't necessarily have those hard conversations all the time about things that are affecting us emotionally and mentally, right? So Yeah, so even just like Ja is like really Mel and Ja, y'all are keeping us like whoo. And even Ja said this is something that she should look into more because you have children that might need my understanding and their life experiences. Man, say that life experience is different from other people's, and sometimes you just got to be aware. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and awareness is like where it begins. And now that you just said that, I am wondering because I looked at some of the symptoms, because I be Dr. Googling my stuff, right? Dr. Googling. I was wondering if that affects neurodivergent people a little differently. You know what I'm saying? Because we already got we already have a lack of dopamine. And then if we're not getting vitamin D, which, converts into amino acids, which convert into the streams of dopamine, I'm wondering if it affects us too. That is really interesting. And I wonder if it affects, melanated people of neurodivergence a little bit differently because we got barriers to sun. So I wonder if that affects us also, if you're Hispanic or if you're Black or if you're, if you're Indian or whatever, whatever, if you have a lot of melanin, I wonder if that's impacting also, Mel is tuning in. Thank you, Mel.
Now I want to clear something else up before we go further. So it is seasonal affective disorder. This isn't winter blues. Okay, this is not winter blues. Winter blues is a milder form of seasonal affective disorder. But there's two types, okay? It's summer and it's winter. So it's like, all right, well, how could summer lead to some sort of depression, right? Now, really, again, think about this. During the summer, there's overexposure to daylight. There's longer days, right? Longer days of sunlight, right?
Okay.
So again, you have to think about how the heat can disturb your sleep, okay? Agitation, irritability, anxiety. And then all of that disrupts your circadian rhythm. Again, that word is very key here when it comes to seasonal affective disorder, right? These are your sleep cycles. And we have what's called normal sleep cycles as it occurs with the light, our exposure to light. Naturally, our body wants to go to sleep when it's dark out. Naturally. Sleep. Naturally, right? But what happens if you have more sunlight? What is that signaling to your hypothalamus? What is that signaling? Hey, it's not time to go to bed yet, but hey, hold on now. Usually we go to sleep like you're looking at the time and you still up. Like, I'm up, right? So then there's the reduced melatonin, right, production as a result of that exposure to light, right? And then if you add in that condition with the social stressors, so there's usually more social activity during the summer, and those obligations could be overwhelming to someone who doesn't have the energy to perform. And so that damages your self-concept because you're like, man, everybody's outside and I don't want to be outside. I don't want to deal with nobody. But it's summer. You don't want to be outside. Like, get this sunlight.
Right.
I got enough of it. I'm getting too much.
That is crazy. Because I think, because we think about I didn't even think about summertime.
I didn't either.
Because, once again, Seattle is that, it's different. It's different out here, right? We literally, it doesn't start getting dark over here until 10:30 at night. It doesn't, during the summer. It starts getting darker earlier during these times. And then, it starts getting darker later. So it's almost like, what do they call them? The Alaskan, Alaskan nights, where you can have sunlight through the whole entire day. We literally, it starts getting dark at 10:30 for us, and it starts getting light again at 5 a.m. So you only got 7 hours during the summertime. 7 hours of dark. And if you're really used to sleeping a little bit more, oh man, that can throw off your circadian rhythm.
And so in this, right? So we're just, we've been describing it. So it's not fully understood where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
Plenty of researchers are still trying to figure it out. There's a few theories, right? Some of it is genetic, okay? Some of it is genetic. I want you to just consider our ancestors. Where were they living in the past? What kind of environments? Were they living in cold environments, or were they living in temperate environments? Because in temperate environments, the seasons are different. In cold environments, you get shorter days of daylight. You're exposed to more cold. Do you think a human is supposed to endure that much cold?
Man.
But you have ancestors that have endured all of that cold, all of that harsh environment, right? And yeah, you adapt it, but what's to say that, you know, you move away from that and you develop SAD? Not because you intentionally wanted to, but because of your predecessors. You know, so genetic predisposition, that is one way in which you can get SAD.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
It depends.
Come on,
who's
through, Renee.
telling that
Come on,
story.
through, Renee. I love it. Yeah, it's that time. The song has the
Everybody didn't migrate.
Yeah. Some did, some didn't.
You just said makes my depression worse, especially when you go to class when it's light out and you get out and it's pitch black, man.
That's right, man. Come on, Mia. Yeah, listen, Mia, she's from the PNW too. That's my adopted daughter. But yeah, no, seriously, like it's like it. Oh my goodness, I didn't think about how much it affects like a little bit of everything. And like maybe we were supposed to migrate. If you really think about it, like the Americans that were native to the United States, they migrated. They stayed in a migratory state. So maybe they did that because, you know.
Okay, who was that? Oh, that was
Was
Ivy.
that me?
That's you, Ivy. Oh, it's okay. Come back when you get it done. Okay. Super loud. It was. We're good now. She's good now. She's gonna fix it. I like dark days though. Love you. Who is Mia? Love you, Mama. Love you too.
That's my adopted daughter.
Oh, how many? Oh, I got
You
several.
just taking
adopted
credit.
daughters.
Yeah, look at you.
I have several man.
Yeah, but she was talking to Miss Tanner.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Shots not fired. Just saying.
I know. You know. I know. Who develops sad more, women or men, and why? Women. I love you too. See, she said, I love you all. Thank you. I said women.
Yeah, but why?
Why? I can only speak. I don't see a lot of men. Well, am I really paying attention? No, I'm not. So you know what? I really can't say. I just know I feel it. I've talked to other women who go through it, but I have yet to run across a man who feels this way during the wintertime. Why we're going to be more effective? Emotional.
Hormonal differences, okay. Hormonal differences. We'll just say hormone differences.
Hormonal differences.
Biology.
I feel like men mask their depression a lot. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I was about to say, now there it is.
Now, so in terms of the literature, right? If we were to look for some statistics, we're going to see the numbers lean towards the women, right? But there's a reporting bias here. And what I mean by that is women are more likely to talk about the fact that they got seasonal depressive affective disorder than men. Women are more likely to talk about it and therefore report. Men are less likely, so it doesn't mean that we ain't experiencing it. We just ain't talking about it.
Right. True. Okay. We're just not talking about it.
I was just getting ready to say that. I was like, how many men out here be like, man, yo, my seasonal affective disorder is really messing me up, yo. I mean, because
and even with that same candor, the same voice, you'll probably be like, don't really care to hear this. Right?
oh,
No, it's not that we don't care. It's just like,
So why would a man take the time out to say all that? I'm not saying all. But who cares? You're a man.
we care.
No, I'm saying social norm. Who cares? You're a man. Tough it up. Keep it moving.
we can look at the number of
like a little baby. You're whining like a little baby.
No, because
That's
this
real.
is the reason why we care. Because look at the number of suicides. If you really get down to it, women are going to talk about their depressions and stuff, right? Because they're like, because we're that nurture, right? But if a man is feeling down, like once he gets past the you little baby, blah 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 blah, he's gonna be like, I want out. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And he is quicker to take let's go ahead and keep this a buck. He's quicker to take a 45 and be like, I'm gonna go ahead and handle this myself, my way. That's why we do care, because man, because we don't want y'all gone. So I don't know. No, I'm saying, I'm like, cut it out.
That's a whole nother topic. I ain't
cut it out,
man.
I'm just saying, if my brother comes to me and tells me, hey, yo, I'm feeling some type of way and I really don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, these seasons got me affected. What we about to do? We about to work it out. Let's find some solutions. You know?
Well, let's be honest. This part, most men don't even know what we talking about right now. Let's talk about that. Let's go there first. So even if you did bring it up, he'll be like, ma'am, I ain't got time, because you're talking over my head. You're not even talking to me or with me. You're talking over my head. So, matter of fact, let me get back to work.
and that's not somebody you can trust. That's not somebody you can confide in, and that's not somebody you want in your team. That's not somebody you want in your tribe.
Now, this is a whole entire different topic. Are we about to start? No, it's not time yet. It's not time yet, right? It's not time yet. Who is going to hold space? Because we already had that talk. Who is going to hold space? Is it the person who got your corner?
There's one other large core belief here, and it's a belief that's presented as an expectation, all right? But this is a core belief here, presented as an expectation, a social expectation. Even when we're hurt, even when we're wounded, we're expected to have the answers. We're expected to be able to still solve the problems. We're expected to still be able to go on. We're expected to be tough.
Push through.
So because things got to happen. And so you have to be resilient. We say resilient, but we're saying really tolerant. You have to be able to tolerate your own suffering. Not necessarily do anything about it, because she's not going to come with a solution. He's got to figure that out. It's his problem.
You said you're the leader.
Right? So we're saying here it's a core belief to the man, but it's a expectation. Now, we are identifying the somewhat exceptions here. The exceptions are the women that do hold space and says, oh no, I see you as a human being, and it makes no sense. Those are actually the exceptions. That's not the norm. We're talking about exceptional women here, even though the exceptional women should be the norm, but they're not, because this is our culture. It doesn't matter what the race of the man is, okay? We already know this. We already made these observations. And so it's one of those social problems that we know the answers to, but everybody does not want to put it into practice. Requires too much work. I don't have time to work on him like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's social conditioning. It's social conditioning. And that's just where we're at as a society. That's just where we're at.
Oh, come on, John. I got this right here.
Yeah.
This is good.
The exceptional women, the exceptional women are challenging the status quo. That's what I'm saying here. Mm-hmm. So those women are doing it right, but the other women, and you can try to teach the other women, they're gonna be mad at you. They're gonna be jealous. They're gonna smite you. How dare you tell me that? How dare you tell me that I'm not treating my husband with love and respect by giving him how dare you tell me that?
Yo,
crossing the boundary. Victims, right? Again, hey. We talked about it, victim culture, right? Don't hold anybody accountable, pow, 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 pew, pew, right?
Listen, get you a tribe. I'm sorry, I just like completely total squirrel. Get you a tribe. If you don't have people in your life who are helping to push against those struggles and those strongholds and those things that are holding you captive, that you don't have illumination on, and you just need a peek into it to plant the seed and be like, hey bro, hey sis, you know what I'm saying? You might want to take a look at this challenging area at your life. If your ego is, if you don't have those people who can challenge your ego enough to rise you to the next place, get you a tribe, boo. Get you a tribe. My 3 right here. You feel what I'm saying? And a couple of them over here in this comment box. I'm gonna shut up. I'm going on mute.
God love it.
I just want to piggyback off of what Ivy was just saying. You gotta have good people in your corner. Because I ain't gonna lie, me and my sister back in Houston kind of bumped heads a little bit. And she said, okay, Renee, this is me and Ivy talking now. She said, I need you to be curious. Why does she feel this way? And I'm just like, because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it could be like boom, boom. But she's like, I just need you to, I had to step out of my feelings and be curious and look at it from a different perspective. And then she hit it right on the nose. She was like, okay, I need you to look at it like this. Because I was still trying to hold on. She said, no. She said, that's your daughter. She reminded me what happened. I told her a story about what happened with my daughter and how she came home and she was crying because things are not moving as fast as she wants them to, or she doesn't see any type of movement. So they were 2 of the same. And that's all they both wanted was just confirmation. Even though I keep everything up in my head, I don't write it down. I know what I'm getting ready to do and I know it's going to get done. Some people in your life, you got to communicate that to. They can't read your mind. So the next day I called her. That morning, we ended up talking on the phone for like 4 hours. I said, okay, I need for you to explain to me what is it that you need from me? And that's how I opened up that conversation. And we're good. Instead of allowing it to fester and be like, oh my God, this and, just, I'm trying to say a lot, but not say too much, And if it wasn't for having that conversation with Ivy, I don't think I would have ever did that. I think I would have probably,
conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people focus on the conflict part and not the resolution.
Not the resolution. That's what I said.
Yeah.
How can we come
the conflict
to a middle ground?
Yeah, and so Ivy was able to give you the space to say, all right, hey, let's evaluate your feeling. Okay, now let's remove the feeling and let's solve the problem. So Ivy's saying, hey, it's okay you had this feeling, right? Yeah. But the feeling is just telling you that an experience happened. What you got a whole relationship over here. What are you gonna do about this though? Yeah. What are you gonna do? The problem is this, not your feelings.
Yeah,
it's this.
And stepping out of my feelings sometimes can be just a tad bit difficult because I'm wondering,
ego.
Like, no, be curious. Challenge that right now. Be curious. I'm just like,
kill the ego.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's do this.
But something, the thing is that I listen to a mental health professional, right? Like even talk about any of the disorders, you know what I'm saying? Or even just like having conflict, right? She says that mental illness is confusion. You can pretty much like solve it up to confusion. So even when it comes to trying to resolve conflicts about your emotions and about your feelings or whatever, it's because you have confusion between what it is that you feel or how you feel that you should be acting, right? And then what it is that actually needs to happen in order to get a good resolution. So even when we talk about depression, right? Mental health, sometimes, man, it's confusion about what's going on in your body. Sometimes it could be as simple as what chemical do I need? Not chemical. What nutrient am I missing from my body that I need to replenish in it? That I don't have right now. That's got me feeling this way. You understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's that simple, but people don't want to step outside of being like, "Oh, I got it. Yo, I'm all right. I'm all right." You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's women.
What people sound like that? What people sound like that? Who you was intimidating, right? I mean, not intimidating, but yeah.
Who I was imitating?
Imitating.
I don't know.
I don't know, because when you said, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Women that sound like that.
I mean, okay, so my bad. That is my general imitation.
So we need to sit down on the couch and talk about that.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, but like most of the time, that's my general imitation of my brothers. I love my brothers, but I be like, hey, like my brothers. I'm talking like my blood brothers. And look, Mel said I do. Mel is rugged, thuggish, but no, I'm just playing. You're not the rugged, thuggish, but she's a whole Reiki healer, so I'm just gonna leave her alone. No, but I'm just saying, like, for real, I'm like, I'm just saying, like, that's the, I kind of feel like that's the impersonation of the attitude that like takes you away from kind of looking, that might be challenging, so maybe that's my impersonation of that. I'm gonna be quiet because y'all know I talk a lot, so I can talk a whole bunch. Ooh, what are some remedies?
Girl, you
one of the main remedies is to know you even diagnosed with SAD. That's a remedy within itself.
And by the way, we didn't cover the diagnostic material and comprehensively at least, but I want to throw out that one key element of the diagnostic criteria is that you had to have reported at least 2 consecutive years, because everybody doesn't have SAD every year. The onset, like, okay, you had it in 2020, you didn't see it again until 2024. Maybe it's very specific, maybe it's something happened in that season and it just so happens to be in the season, and so you correlated it, right? So you have to rule out a few things. Like anemia. You could become anemic and think, oh shoot, I have SAD, right? But if you do a lab, that'll rule that out. So we got to make sure that if you're serious, right? So there's levels to it. If it's serious and severe, you're having that joint every year, and you recognize it, you feel it.
Yeah.
If given the caveat that you're self-aware and you actually care about how you feel, like you notice, like, yo, I'm usually up, and now, okay. Start deducting. Start deducing. Okay, it can't be that. Eliminate that. Can't be that. It's gotta be this. Remedies. You gotta get active. You gotta get that blood flowing.
What are some remedies that treat SAD? I'm so glad that you said that, because of the fact that we have a seasonal affective disorder or depression, a person who has that, who's also a Reiki healer, who is on our comments. Mel. And I'm thinking, see, I didn't even know, Mel. You didn't even put me on game, because I'm thinking right now, maybe the reason why you got into Reiki healing is because of Reiki. I'm sorry, my bad.
Reiki.
Reiki. But I'm just thinking, like, for real, I know the somatic healing, like somatic therapy, like moving, like that helps. Like if you get like the blood flowing in your body, having a lava lamp or a sunlight lamp by your bedside. I keep one because I'm ADHD and I'm always like dopamine deficient, so I keep one near my bed too. Yeah, and I'm in the PNW, so yeah.
That would work. Yeah. Explain to them what PMW is.
That's the Pacific Northwest. I am so sorry. That is basically Oregon. It is Washington.
Look at you. Witchcraft. Look at you. Mess around, you're an alchemist.
I'm just saying, like, some like light therapy, light therapy, definitely. I mean, because it's like your body is missing that vitamin D.
But also some therapy that's light, so some light therapy as well.
Yeah.
Some light therapy and then some. So tell me how you feel therapy. Just a little bit light. Not heavy. just light, because it's just for the season.
Tell Mel I need to come see her this summer.
Listen, she don't even know, but we about to talk after the show.
We really are. I need to come see. I need to make an appointment. I heard those things are intense. I need you to, the full package, whatever that consists of.
All the Ricky.
You got. Yeah, she said I start receiving Reiki to help me with my grief, and eventually felt called by God to learn and do a ceremony. I definitely want one. Definitely want one. Girl, pull out all this trauma. Pull it out.
And put it on the table in a nice.
I'm serious. I heard that stuff is no joke. When they get to working with your hips, because trauma lives in the hips, and when they move that hip a certain way, that tears that release, honey.
Yeah. I've seen videos. I was like, "Whoo, yeah." We gonna talk after the show, Mel.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna be giving you a call. Don't worry.
And to answer John's question, vitamins. Some vitamin D. Use some vitamin D. Get you some exercise. Get out as much as you can in the daylight if you can. You don't have to go out when it's really, really cold, because that's when you actually run back in. But if the temperature is bearable, take you a walk. Keep moving. Family, friends, loved ones. Surround yourself with them. Keep your spirit up, So yeah,
I've been whooping in spades.
And do it gracefully, and then resolve the conflict afterwards.
I don't care what nobody say, and I'm going to say it right here. Can't nobody beat me in spades. Do you hear me? I'm sorry. Can't nobody beat me and whoever I choose to partner up with in spades.
Did I just find a new partner?
Period.
I mean, because
listen,
yo.
And then there was I am.
Okay, Renee, I'm telling you now. Then we need to be partners then. Oh yeah. Because when I sit down, I tell people, I warn them, when I sit down, I get comfortable. I'm not getting up.
Womp, womp.
Okay.
Hey, Emma, we gonna talk the other Renee. We gonna talk too. Because yes.
How do you not know how to play spades?
Even if it is cold outside, find somebody to challenge you to go outside and push through the coldness.
Mm-hmm.
Find somebody to hold you accountable. Find somebody to help you hold yourself to a different standard. Cold, heat, it don't matter. Just find somebody to push you.
Yeah. I gotta say this, right? Some people think that it is like Western woo-woo, mumbo jumbo, a little like, I guess granola-y type stuff when you start talking about mindfulness and breathing, right? Yeah. They be like, oh, okay, I can breathe, yeah, da. But there are proven studies that the dorsal vagal nerve, which is accounting for most of your inflammation in your body, also like that whole entire like gut brain connection to like affect all of your mental health. It is strengthened and recycled like by recycling air through your body, like it strengthens it. Like they
call them breatharians.
Breathanarians, yeah.
Breathanarians.
Is there really a breathanarian?
Yes, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What
yeah, you meditate, you breathe, and you align your chakras. You bring up your Kundalini energy.
Say it again.
Kundalini.
These are individuals who just live off of just breathing.
Yeah, that's it. I'm with you on that. I've been running.
Yeah, that's it's out there, yo, and it's crazy.
We don't even breathe on the full. Yeah, we do. We do not.
We do about 23%. 23%.
Look.
And we're not even going to talk about the fact that depending on where you stay at, the air is contaminated. So ask yourself, how many times do you really take in a deep breath and breathe?
Come on, living by the water helps. Going by water helps. Getting out in nature helps.
Yeah.
Grounding, hug a tree. Yeah, all that.
I've hugged a tree. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. We were driving past and I was just like, just mind your business, people. Just mind your business.
Yeah, you really discharge. People don't even think about walking barefooted. You really discharge.
Oh, no.
Seriously.
Can I share?
Uh-oh. What's up?
When it would rain during the summer, that little light rain, especially at night, I would literally jump out of bed and go stand barefoot in the grass, in the rain, and literally pretend that my soul was being washed. And asking the earth to pull that negative energy out of me. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, right? People think, okay, so that reminds me, I have a friend who used to remind me, like call me once a year and used to remind you, remember when we used to go dancing and running in the rain, da-da-da-da-da? And I think about it, that was some of the happiest time of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is because I was more connected, well, and now I'm connected back to nature, but I was connected to nature and I was unafraid to play. You know what I'm saying? To ground myself and to play. I think that that's also a remedy that would possibly help with SAD. Just getting into a place of being present. When you're present, you're not thinking about what's in the future, what's in the past. I think that then you can actually stay present enough to play and be happy, and find joy, find gratitude.
In that moment.
Yeah, and be able to breathe everything in, like literally breathe it.
Sidebar, Miss Tanner, you're always connected. You just didn't take the time out to acknowledge there are distractions and more distractions. And then a little bit more distractions, and then more distractions, and then more distractions.
He's not lying.
You always been connected. Just got to flip the switch and just realign yourself with it. That's it.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, we are all, like that whole, oh my goodness. Remember when we had that show when that guy came on and he just took over and talked about how we're so interconnected and like everything is connected and like humanity is completely connected. We're connected to the earth, to the nature, like everything is so connected. And then I watched the show that talked about the science behind it and I was like, oh, I definitely believe that. But some people choose not to flip that switch and to tune into it. And that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like they're disconnected to their true nature. Ma, I hear you, Val. Val is like you speak.
I was just reading about this in the book. Left hemisphere is that separation. Logic. Right hemisphere is spiritual, is knowing that we are all connected. Yeah, we're separated. You're there, I'm here, but we're still connected. You got to put them together.
Man.
As above, so below. It's all the same.
Come on. Come on. I'm telling you. Oh, man. They have their shoes off and have direct contact with the ground.
Connection over everything. Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yes.
That's so true. Huh. Yeah. Then that leads me to think the people who maybe like are suffering from seasonal affective disorder, maybe that's like a chance to like reconnect that, you know what I'm saying? Like okay, all right, hold on, I'm just gonna go show what Mel just said. But maybe that is a signal to go reconnect with really like lots of nature, like maybe that's the thing saying, like connect with it even more. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out. I'm throwing stuff out and seeing if something sticks.
I don't see it. I don't see why not. Yeah. I don't see why not. Oh my God.
Just saying. Oh,
thank you, Mel.
Yeah, thank you, Mel. I can't wait. I really am going to call you after this podcast. Give me about 10-15 minutes. Okay. All right.
Yes, I got to go back to my job. I forgot to do some stuff. I forgot to put an order in. I said, let me go back there. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Mel. Oh, this has been great. I'm so glad that you chimed in. Yeah. I'm just saying, anybody out there watching or listening, do you have any experiences with seasonal affective disorder, depression, any experiences from it that you want to share? I've only heard 2 people in my lifetime now. And Renee, you're at that level, you're the second one. Actually say that they experience that they experience.
It hasn't hit me yet, but I know it's coming. It's I did good for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving we actually renamed to Homecoming. But Christmas is this month, so I can't wait till January the 1st, and I know that the sun is coming. It's coming. Like, I'm just dreading it right now. Yeah, that was good. Tonight was good. Thank you. Sorry I was late.
You're always on time.
I was just about to say, you on time. You on time.
All right. Next week we're just gonna do a Q&A.
What?
Because we're gonna be off the last 2 weeks in December, and we don't come back until next month, January the 7th. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you,
I'm gonna learn. Oh, so yeah, we're gonna do it. We usually do a Q&A every often. No, you're gonna ask us questions.
Yes. Hey, how about you guys come in and talk about what topics you want to talk about? You know
that part.
Or
for
tell us
next year.
something.
Yeah.
Yes. Or come in and tell us something about yourself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because y'all know, we talk every week. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
I mean, what do y'all?
Yeah. Sneak peek. We're doing gender wars in January.
Woo! I'm gonna put myself on mute.
It's a lot, and we're gonna do it for the whole month of January. Yeah, so that's just a sneak peek. Just a sneak peek. But next week we're just gonna do a Q&A because we're going on vacation for the last 2 weeks of December. You know, it is. I'm really big on family. Gender wars is intense. Yes, it is. I'm really big on family. So the next 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks is we would have fell on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. Spend time with your family, love, reconnect, honor, appreciate, gratitude, thankfulness. You know, set those intentions for the new year and what you want to experience. Put that out there, and just have time to look back on the year and just be thankful that, hey, you're still here. Number one, you're still here. You're still here. You're still fighting the good fight. Other than that, I want to thank everyone for coming in on tonight's live. Do y'all have anything y'all want to say before we close out?
We appreciate everybody for joining in and supporting us as well as we support you.
Absolutely.
We'll be here next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Q&A. What you got?
Can I dig into that? I really don't think if you're still watching, I don't think that we express that enough. And that you guys watching, I don't think you guys understand how much we truly appreciate y'all tuning in on Tuesdays, having these conversations with us, having these hard conversations with us. You know, commenting, sharing your opinions. You know, just seriously building, connecting. That means a lot. Because you take time out of your Tuesday to stop and be like, you know something? Let me see what these four people, these four beautiful faces have to say about X, Y, and Z topic. That's trust. Yes. That is familiarity. Mm-hmm. That is connection. It's something that we don't have a whole bunch of. And I'm pretty sure I speak for everybody. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. Thank you for supporting. And keep coming back. Sure.
There you go. Come on back. 2025, we gonna start that off with a bang.
Oh Lord.
All right.
Oh Lord.
John, you got me.